Ladies and gentlemen, come gather round, come gather round, come gather around. Today, we're going to clean this nasty handful of rusty tools with your kitchen variety vinegar, because apparently vinegar dissolves rust, and I don't believe that, so I'm going to try it for science. Let's go! So I could have sworn I did a video of pouring vinegar into this container, but if you can imagine vinegar being poured into this container, you would have this picture of vinegar inside this container. This is day one. I'm just going to let it sit.
It's a unicorn horn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In olives. Well, that's what it looks like.
I don't think you want to drink this.
Oh, is this the stuff that de-rusts the rust?
It's just vinegar.
Ah.
You might need to rinse that to see.
Well, I'm seeing if it's... how well it's actually cleaning the metal.
Here's the predicament though. If you rinses it, it's gonna get water on it. If
Well,
it's water on it, it's gonna rust.
I will put in some
Fresh oil.
Machinist's Blue. So here we are at the end of day 2, and I think this is about as clean as it's going to be. I'm just using a toothbrush and a green scrubby to get the last little crusty bits of disgusting out of here. There are other types of rust removal methods. At work I have a big 20 liter, 15 liter, a big pail of Evaporust, which works really well. There apparently molasses works. There are other things you can purchase. I wanted to try vinegar. Imagine soaking like a whole Chevelle body in vinegar. That seems cruel and unusual. Your neighbors might not like that. But I wanted to see if it worked. And this thing seems to be working. So that's kind of cool to see. Just a little bit of scrubbing to get it off. It did discolor my fingers something fierce. And there is some pitting, as you saw on that easy out. But rust kind of does that. I don't think the vinegar is causing it to pit, because it wasn't everywhere. It was just on one side, probably where this thing sat in water for a while. So other than that, it's I would say this is success. I would do this again. So the next thing I'm going to do is use some gun bluing. And this was recommended from the JD Garage. I bought the plans for their CNC plasma cutter, and they recommended using gun bluing. And then in talking about doing that, other folks are saying, why don't you just use phosphoric acid, like rust mort? Well, I have some of that. I suppose I could have saved some money and not bought gun bluing. So I don't know. I've got some. I try it. This time I'm using gun bluing. Next time I'll probably use phosphoric acid or rust mort or rust converter. Not sure it'll make a difference. These tools get used. I just want it to not keep rusting. I suppose I could just coat them in oil. That would work too. So don't pour the excess back into the container. I don't know. I've got a tree in the back I'm trying to kill, but whatever I pour onto it keeps it growing better than all the other trees. In conclusion, the vinegar worked. I'm pleased with it. I think I will use it again. Leave a comment down below of whatever your favorite rust removal chemical is, and maybe we'll have a go at that in some future date. There is something weird on the fatter of the two taps where there's a series of cracks throughout this thing. And I'd be hard-pressed to say that vinegar caused this thing to crack, but there's cracks in there. It looks like, to me, it was some kind of fracture failure from the hardening process, but whatever. The purpose of this was to see if vinegar worked, and it did. So, as always, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you again.